My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah. Yeah. My life be like, yeah. My life be like times like these that make you say, yeah. Lord, if you see me, please come my way.
From Baton Rouge, Louisiana, please welcome Peter Mata.
My life be like times like these that make you say, yeah. Lord, if you see me, please come my way. Like leaving breadcrumbs or when I stray, yeah. I don't sacrifice in the price you pay. Like living like a fingertip. Sometimes I fall, I slip. Yeah, more feelings I need, more like you. Try not to put the fire with the things I do. Like times like these that make you say, yeah. Lord, if you see me, please come my way. Like leaving breadcrumbs or when I stray, yeah. I don't sacrifice in the price you pay. Like living like a fingertip. Sometimes I fall, I slip. Yeah, more feelings I need, more like you.
Greetings, y'all, and welcome back to the Anaks podcast. It's your Anak, Peter Mata, and today we're going to talk about a little March Madness 2021. Getting back into sports, I know we've been talking a little bit about music match play and brackets there. We're going to get back into sports and talk about the ultimate bracket that everyone knows, college basketball, men's college basketball to be specific, and March Madness. It's back this year. 2020 was a complete wash, complete madness outside the court, but it's back in 2021. And there could be some more madness that, we don't see or we see because of certain protocols. And I'll get into that a little later. Maybe Anak Ryan, who's always with me. How's it going?
Very good, Peter. Really happy to be doing this podcast, talking a little bit college basketball. As you mentioned, we were deprived of a tournament last year, March Madness 2020, canceled due to obvious reasons, but it's back this year, 2021, and some things are the same as we're used to as far as March Madness is concerned. But yeah, some things have been altered and modified just due to the fact that COVID is still in this world. So a lot to go over. We have the whole bracket that both Peter and I are going to be dissecting, and you're going to see all of our picks leading up to the Final Four, leading up to the national championship game. But yeah, we're really happy to be doing another podcast. This one's sports related. The music ones, I know you guys love them, but yeah, we'll go into some college basketball right now. But I am doing good, Peter, doing well, excited, really excited for this tournament. But yeah, Peter, how are you doing?
All is well, sir. You know me. I'm just glad to see you, glad to do this with you. Glad to be back on the Anaks podcast and getting our opinions out on this. That is something we haven't talked about yet. Something that I don't necessarily watch too much college basketball, but I do always watch March Madness. And I've got so many memories just from past. I'm obviously, you can see the pillow in the back, big LSU fan, and we've had some runs. Unfortunately, no championships in basketball, but we've had some runs that have been really exhilarating. Does anything come back to mind for you, Ryan, when you think back to previous March Madness, maybe teams you were following, maybe LSU? I know you love your Tigers just like me. Yeah. Anything in the past that comes back to mind when you think of March Madness?
Like the 2019, 2018, the last few March Madness before the cancellation of last year's have been, phenomenal. You get the last championship team to win it in 2019, Virginia, and them coming off of what happened that year prior to them being that first number one seed to lose to a 16 seed. That in itself was an amazing story. Some of the freshmen that we've been getting these last few years, we've been absolutely blessed to get some of these freshmen, watching them play. The Duke team a few years back, with Zion, with Cam Reddish, with RJ Barrett. One of the most stacked teams to ever be placed on a college basketball court. And then dating back to 2016 when we had Lonzo out there, De'Aaron Fox. All of these guys, Jason Tatum, Luke Kennard on Duke. All of these guys who are now flourishing in the NBA. Right. I've been a huge college basketball fan. I don't follow it as closely as a hardcore junkie would, but definitely for me, I kind of break my year up into sections. So pretty much, football, college football is all of fall. It's going to take up all of my fall and all of the winter time. But typically, you know, post that Super Bowl and then post, you know, the national championship game for college, that's when I kind of shift my gears to basketball and college basketball too. It's so fun to watch some of these guys and see them grow throughout, either if they choose to stay 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you know, to see them mature throughout that process, or to see these, like I mentioned, these young freshmen, just literally 18 years young, going out there and absolutely balling. We'll talk about a few of those freshmen that are playing right now in a bit. But yeah, for me, quick comes to mind. I mean, the last few years of basketball, college basketball, have been so exciting to watch. I mean, Trae Young, I remember watching him too, as kind of like the new Steph Curry. And then that obviously brought back many memories of us watching Steph when he was at Davidson making his remarkable run. Yeah. And I mean, just so many memories. And that's the reason why I think I enjoy college basketball. I know a lot of people, you know, yourself, like you just said, Peter, I mean, come March Madness, that's when you really shift focus and really get to know the guys. But yeah, I think college basketball is a lot of people don't like it because it's sloppy basketball. It looks like you're watching it at, like, you know, the Saturday morning YMCA runs or something like that. But I think definitely, as it shows in this tournament in specific, I mean, it's a you lose and you're out type of deal. You know, it's not any best of 7, all of that. It's literally, you know, you lose and you're out. And that's why I think, and these are all young kids, so anything can happen, and which adds to the excitement, adds to the name March Madness. It is madness. But yeah, we're excited for this one, Peter. I hope you guys are. Followers, we again thank you for all the support that you guys have been showing us, all the love, many more things down the pipeline coming in. But yeah, Peter, thank you for having me on this show. We're ready to go.
Yeah. And yes, indeed, dude. That was a wonderful little timeline you just provided there, man. Yeah, I mean, you know what's interesting with March Madness, or just college basketball, because I am more of an NBA fan compared to college basketball, is like Carmelo Anthony or Anthony Davis. You think of them more as like the superstar NBA player, but both of them won national championships in college, and it's like they're great college basketball players. But I mean, we associate them more with the NBA because obviously their success there. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, college basketball, it does get a little sloppy. It feels like it's a little forced. Sometimes the players don't get to quite flourish. It's like there's no openness at all, like in the NBA. But also the difference is like the heart that these players play with. Like I always have engraved in my mind Adam Morrison when he lost, you know, after it was like a heartbreaking loss, and he like went to the fetal position, started crying. I mean, that's what March Madness is all about. I mean, I'm pretty sure were they number 1 seed? I know they were a high ranked seed.
Yeah, Gonzaga that year. Oh, shoot, that was at 2007 or 2008, maybe 2006.
Yeah, mid 2000.
They got to be. Yeah, they were like number 1 for sure, because I know he won Player of the Year that year.
Right. Yeah, and it's just like it doesn't really matter. I mean, in sports in general, is like that's why you play the game. Anyone can get beat on any given day, but in college basketball, in March Madness, it doesn't matter if you're a number 1 seed. I mean, you could get tossed out like Virginia did a few years back. But I mean, the craziest thing is they came back the very next year and won it all. So yeah, you know, it's the beauty of sports, I think, that March Madness brings out in these college athletes, and I love the passion that they show for it. I wish I'd followed it more. I mean, I do try to follow my Tigers as much as possible. I know for you think back to the past few years, but you know, for me, and I know a lot of people down here, they think back to like the 2006 LSU Tigers with Glenn Big Baby Davis, Tyrus Thomas, Tasman Mitchell, Daryl Mitchell hitting a game winner against, I think, Texas A&M, Garrett Temple locking down JJ Redick. People still remember that to this day. That was 15 years ago. But, you know, March Madness is it's such a fun little event. That, you know, I don't know worldwide its impact, but definitely in America, it's one of the greatest pastimes that we have. But I'm excited to break down our bracket. I haven't watched too much college basketball this year, but I did research a couple days ago. I procrastinated for the test, and hopefully you see these notes will come into handy.
Yes.
Later on.
All right, Peter. Okay, so you said you didn't watch too much college basketball this year. Give me an over/under. How many games total did you watch, you think? Quality games. Like, I'm not talking just, you know, scanning through, watch a few minutes of it, turn the channel. How many actually, like, did you actually sit down and watch a full-on game? Give me the over-under amount.
Putting me on the spot.
I'm putting you on the spot. The audience got to know. The audience gotta
Zero
know.
games. I'll just say it straight up. I've
Yeah.
watched zero full games.
Wow. Okay.
Zero
And
full
that's totally fine because I think everyone's case. I mean, sometimes the more you know, the better when it comes to this bracket
Right.
that we're about to tackle. And I mean, this is going to be the first time which is actually what a tournament is. You know, you have any type of tournament, you know, as a kid, it's always played at one spot. You have a golf tournament, it's played at one spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is the first time. And hey, knock, knock on Vegas's door. Maybe next year you could be, let's have this tournament in Vegas and stack. Because I mean, in past years, they just have it spread out across the whole US.
Right.
Which is fun too, because everyone gets a little taste. But hey, have it in a nice centralized location like Sin City, baby. And I'm sure that you're going to get a lot of people booking flights for Las Vegas. Ooh. They have the courts to do it too. They got the courts. I mean, they have the Summer League there. They have the T-Mobile Arena. They have the newly built Allegiant Stadium, looking like the Death Star. I mean, hey, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but yeah, just throwing it out there into the the galaxy, see what it does. But yeah, this is the first time it's going to be held in Indy. So I mean, it's a cool little town. I've never been there, but excited to see how all of those games are going to be played. Most of them are going to be back to back to back to back. So yeah, we're excited. Let's do it. Final four, everything, Indy. I mean, let's do it. Yeah. So yeah, we're just looking this up right now as well. But obviously with this unique situation, everything being in a centralized location, you know, all the protocols are going to be up to all the CDC guidelines. They're going to be testing quite frequently. However, as we've noticed throughout this year, throughout this college basketball year too, you know, one COVID test could automatically rule you out of a game. You know, there's been a lot of cancellations, a lot of rescheduling. But this year, what makes it specific is that there is going to be some standby teams. And so by standby, I mean, in the case of a school not being able to put out a team due to COVID, there's going to be a team waiting in the wings to replace that team. So it could be a 1 seed, it could be a 3 seed, could be a 5 seed, which honestly can mean two things. One, it could mean a team's chances could just within a second be nothing. Yeah, their whole season done, derailed. Or it could mean, hey, this team has a really easy path now to the Final Four, to a championship. So it could go both ways, but those four standby teams are going to be St. Louis. There's going to be from SEC, Mississippi, Colorado State, and there's one more. Give me 1 second.
Dang, that's incredible.
And Louisville. So Louisville. So those four teams, they're just waiting. They're on a waiting list.
The alternate list for you golfers.
Yeah, waiting for a call. But I mean, I'm hoping we don't ever need to see them playing this year for sure, right? Because I hope everything is able to go accordingly to plan. But just in right now as well, about a few minutes ago before we popped on this podcast, I saw that one of the Oklahoma players tested positive. So it's delaying their time frame from when they're going to be traveling to Indy. So already some stuff. So, and a lot of these teams like Kansas in specific, they dealt with a lot of COVID problems last week, which ultimately got them uncontested in the Big 12. So they couldn't even, finish that Big 12 tournament. They were automatically uncontested. But yeah, just a lot of things, a lot of moving pieces. But yeah, the bracket that we're going to be sharing for you is up to date to Wednesday, March 17th, just about 4:19 Pacific Standard Time. So if anything obviously shifts till then, you know that unfortunate has happened. But yeah, we're going with the bracket that the committee has put forth. Luckily and thankfully, knock on wood, nothing has been shifted to this point. But as I mentioned, there's just always some news breaking, unfortunately, second by second these last couple of days. So we'll see. Hopefully everyone can get, because most of the teams are leaving either today, tomorrow, or Friday. So because I know tomorrow it tips off the first four matchups start tomorrow. So, and they're all tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we're going to go down the bracket list here.
This is all assuming nothing happens. Yeah. So just take it for a grain of salt. That is wild. That would be truly madness if any of that truly happened. I mean, hell, there could be two teams in the same bracket. I don't even know what. I guess a team would just go uncontested at that point.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would see. So that you're tiptoeing into an area that I know the committee doesn't want to have anything part of. But it will get sticky. It will get complicated. Miles got Wichita State winning it all because of that.
Oh my! I don't know about that one. I'll take that one to the moon. So yeah, let's. You want to get into I guess the first four games instead of going region by region. So the first four games we got UCLA, number 11 seeds. UCLA versus Michigan State.
That's like a Final Four game in like
I know in normal times. Yeah, I mean that's two powerhouse teams, but they've been kind of struggling this year.
Yeah.
I guess who do you got in that matchup?
Michigan State versus UCLA. It's going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be a really good game actually, and we're kind of blessed to have it as a first four game. But I'm going Michigan State. These last few games, I mean, they're in the Big Ten, which has been arguably, or not really arguably, but it has been the best conference in college basketball this year. And they've beaten some quality teams throughout the year. The 12 losses kind of stick out to me. That's a little scary because they've lost to some teams that are unsuperior to them. But I think with UCLA, it's going to be a good matchup. But I have Michigan State, Tom Izzo, and the Sparties moving on from that one. What about you, Peter?
I do too. I like Tom Izzo as a coach. He's been solid as can be with this. I have it here, a stat that they haven't missed a tourney since 1997. So
damn,
I don't think they're going to miss. I guess, I mean, they're technically in it as the first four, but they're not going to miss the big 64, so to speak. Both teams are, I guess, two blue collar teams is what I heard. Resilient teams this year. But I think Michigan State, just because Tom Izzo, that's just really my logic there.
Hey, that's fair. All right. Some of these picks, we're not going to take you to court with them. All right. So go with your gut. Go with your gut. And Michigan State is never a bad pick in college basketball.
Yes, indeed.
So that's the first matchup of the first four. We'll move along to Mount St. Mary's, and these are 16 seeds now. Mount St. Mary's versus Texas Southern. So, Peter, I'll start with you first. Who you got in this one?
Okay, so this one I've got. First off, shout out to Damian Chung Ki. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but he's got a wonderful story. Look it up. Very inspiring story. Yeah. I think he plays for Mount St. Mary's, but I'm going to go with Texas Southern. Former LSU coach Johnny Jones coaches them.
Johnny.
Disappointing at LSU, but I do like Johnny as a guy, and they're coming in hot. They're 14 out of 15 wins lately, so I'm going to go with them. Who do you got, Ryan?
You know what? I'm gonna have to switch on this one with you. I don't know much about either of these two teams. I honestly can't even tell you the mascot, which is very rare. I can usually know which mascot is with which college, but I couldn't tell you what Mount St. Mary's or Texas Southern are. But I think I saw Mount St. Mary's conference championship game, and they played somewhat decent. So I'm just gonna go with them. I mean, you're a 16 seed for a reason. But yeah, this one's going to be Mount St. Mary's for me. Okay.
I like it. So we're going to go to the next one, number 11, Drake versus Wichita State. You said Miles has got Wichita State up in this. Well, I've got Drake, who started fast but got injuries. They're Wichita State, solid team is what I'm hearing. But assuming leading scorer Shaquan Hemphill plays, I'm going with Drake. Why is Miles going with?
I think it's just gut feeling, as I mentioned. Crazy shakeout. He expects them to beat Drake, and then run the table, so to speak, with the rest of these by fortune or good luck. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, that's Miles's pick. But I'm gonna have to side with you, and this is just because of the name Drake. I'm a Drake fan, Drizzy. But not to get confused with Drizzy. But this is Drake, the university, and You spoke to it right now. They had an amazing start to the year. From a betting perspective, I think they went the first 15 to 20 games covering, and they were undefeated up to that point, and they covered the spread. And all my betting friends know how difficult it is to just cover one spread, let alone 20 straight spreads. So amazing start. I think they had some injury problems that kind of derailed them. And reason why that they're playing in this play-in game. Otherwise, they'd probably be slotted in, in a normal bid, not one of these play-in games. But
Right.
for me, I'm picking Drake.
Okay.
All the way. Wichita State, the Shockers, typically this is their time of year where they start to make noise. As of late, the last maybe 10 years, they've been a noisy bunch when it comes to this tournament, but not this year, unfortunately. Sorry, Miles. Sorry, Wichita State fans. I got Drake moving along as an 11 seed. And then
no
for the last, and then for the last final or first four matchup, we have Norfolk State and Appalachian State, both 16 seeds trying to play it in. Who do you got in this one?
I've got Appalachian State. They're inconsistent all year, but they're coming off a solid hot start or hot finish with a Sun Belt tourney win, apparently. So I'm going to go with that. I'm the hot hand fallacy. So let's go with it. Who you got?
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to agree on this one as well. I'm going Appalachian State. Just due to the fact that I have no idea where Norfolk State is, or have I watched them ever play, nor do I know their mascot. So for those reasons and those reasons alone, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Norfolk State, but I'm not choosing you to move on. Appalachian State, they have a semi-decent football program, but basketball, we'll have to find out, I guess.
Well, at least they're on the map. We know them.
Yeah, they're on the map. I would say most casuals would, Appalachian State, it can ring a bell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For whether
there it is.
Yeah. So that's the first four. Just going back to Ryan's point, usually when I do pick this, it's completely random. I literally don't usually do research like I did a couple of days ago. So it's okay if it's completely random while you're choosing. You're not alone. I usually do that. Ryan's doing it right now. I'm probably going to do it sometime in this bracket. So if you're doing that, that's fine.
Yeah. Because let's be honest, all of these brackets by the end of week one are going to go to shit anyways. So, might as well have fun picking it.
Yeah, exactly. If you I've been to Gonzaga one time. I think I would just pick them. That's fine too. Yeah.
That's whatever floats your boat. That's fine by me. I'm not going to be, like I always say, I'm not going to be taking you to court for it. Exactly. Just because you picked a 16 to beat a 1. It's happened before, right? It's happened once.
Mm-hmm. That's why
it
they
can
call
happen
it March
again.
Madness. Yeah.
Yes. March Madness. So the first four, those games are tomorrow, Thursday. So hopefully all of you guys get to enjoy. If you've heard our picks, please don't run to the nearest casino and place your whole entire life savings on those picks that we have just stated. But those are just our picks, our personal picks for the first four. We'll start off with the West region as we're going to just dive into this bracket. Okay. Overall number 1 seed, best team in the country, undefeated, Gonzaga Bulldogs. They play 16th seed Appalachian State, who had just won in the first four to our prediction. Peter, who you got? This one might be a tough one, I assume.
No, not a tough one at all. Gonzaga has just been solid as rock, undefeated. Mark Few has just been coaching his butt off at Gonzaga for years now. I don't think they're going to lose this one. They do, they have struggled, finishing it off, but not in this first round. I'm assuming you're going to go. I'm assuming this is a tough one for you, Ryan, huh?
Yes. And with these picks, I know me and Peter love to give you the A through Z opinion. We'll try to be quick with it. I know some of our videos can go a little lengthy.
You want to just go overall, if you have a favorite, if you have an underdog winning on this first round, talk about that. We can do that.
We could. First round's so fun. Let's go through the first round first, and then we'll see where we go from there. Because I know these folks love all these seeds 1 through 16. So we'll be quicker with our points. But Peter, I agree with you. Gonzaga, best team in the land up to this point, undefeated up to this point. Only, I believe, had one game under single digits where they've won. The rest have been complete blowouts. I know people love to bring up the fact that they play in a conference with high school teams. But yes, that's the case. But they're beating everyone. They beat everyone in front of them. They did play some ranked teams in the beginning of the year, smashed them too. I'm going with the Gonzaga, full-on loaded team. This is just ideal college basketball team building it. They have some good mixture between old guys, young guys, talent, top 5 draft pick in Jalen Suggs. Amazing team. Number 1 Gonzaga moving on to the second round.
Okay.
Peter, next matchup.
We got what? Oklahoma versus Missouri, 8-9. I've got Oklahoma going. They finished 0-4 in the regular season, but from what I'm hearing, they got a solid O and D, and they force steals, keep opponents off balance, and that just sounds all good to me. I'm not sure too much about Missouri, but Oklahoma got has got those qualities that I read about, so they must be good. So,
Yeah, fair. But also, Peter, it's sometimes what you don't know is what kills you. But I'm going opposite end. I'm going Missouri 9 seed. 8-9 matchups are always a toss up. This one's going to be, I think, evenly matched for sure. You look at their record, pretty much identical. 15 wins for Oklahoma, 16 wins for Missouri. But Oklahoma, I've watched them actually play a few times this year. They have a really good guard. They have good guard play, but it seems like they're so inconsistent. Like they'll keep up with the best teams, but then they'll make the games that they should be blowing out teams interesting, which I don't really like, especially in this lose and you're out format with March Madness. Missouri, I haven't even watched them play, so I mean, similarly to how I dissected your take, the less you know, maybe the better. So I'm going with Missouri to move along here.
It helps you
as a 9 seed. Okay, moving down the bracket, we have the matchup which everyone loves to pick underdog in, the infamous 5-12 matchup.
Oh yes,
we have Creighton versus UCSB. So shout out Santa Barbara.
All right, yeah, this one I've got UCSB, UC Santa Barbara, 12 seed advancing. They're hot, 18-1. I believe it says here, 18-1 run they've been on in the season.
Man.
They're hustlers, size, versatility, solid free throw shooting. Creighton, on the other hand, has just been struggling, or they haven't been struggling all season, but they did lose big in the Big East Championship. They shoot it well, they got upperclassmen, but, they did kind of choke in that Big East tourney is what I heard. So I don't like it. I don't like the pressure on them. So I'm going to go UCSB.
UCSB. Okay. Shout out California for that one. But me, I'm going with Creighton. Okay. You mentioned it though. They did get their ass handed to them in that Big East championship against Georgetown. I mean, I think Georgetown went on like a 30-2 run at one point in that game, which is, I mean,
that's unheard.
You live by the three, you die by the three. If you're a shooting team, you're going to go through cold stretches. And that's exactly what Creighton went through that game. But I'm choosing them to move on. You said it right now. UCSB has been a hot team. They've been really hot. But I think they've met their match. Creighton, people can take it two of ways. They did have a terrible performance in that Big East champion. But I think in this case, it might motivate them more to go out and try to prove those doubters wrong. They have been a quality team if we look at their entire body of work. But yeah, definitely a little disappointing in that Big East championship. But I got Creighton beating UCU. That's a tongue twister. UCSB.
Just call them Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara, we're sorry. I got you.
Santa Barbs.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry. I'm a Cali boy too, but not this time. But we'll move along. 4 versus 13 matchup now. We got Virginia, the reigning national championships.
Defending champs.
Yeah, national champs versus 13 Ohio Bobcats. Wow, look at Ohio. Ohio, stand up.
Hello.
You got it this one, Peter.
I got the defending champs, Virginia. They've had a COVID-filled ACC tournament, but, I just feel like the pride of coming off a championship, they're not going to let themselves be sloppy on this. They've got, from what I've read, solid offense, good percentages on offense. They limit their turnovers, good defensive rebounding. They're usually slow-paced. I think that works well in the Virginia and the tourney, and it worked well last time. So why not pick them in this first round? Who you got?
I am going to stick with the national champs in Virginia. I mean, they're not pleasing to watch. Nope. They're not easy on the eyes. Tony Bennett's system defensively is always going to be sound. But I think definitely the matchup against Ohio Bobcats. I'm not sure if Ohio played a decent team all year, but I think Virginia, they're going to be solid on the defensive end. They're not going to make too many turnovers or mistakes. They don't beat themselves. It's going to be asking a lot for Ohio to win this game. I'm going with Virginia. They have a great guard, Virginia does. His name is Kihei Clark. But he's been playing absolutely phenomenal. He's their leader. I think he's like 5'9" too. So shout out to the under 6 footers out there making a mark. But he has that experience. He was on that championship team a few years back. But I got Virginia winning as a 4 seed going on to the next round. So there we go. There's a 4-13 matchup.
All right.
Or sorry, 4-13 matchup. We're moving down the list now, and we got USC at the 6th seed versus the team that we chose to win in the play-in game in Drake as the 11th seed. So, Peter, who you got?
I've got your Cali boys again, USC, Southern Cal, big front court, good rebounding, obviously with that, and good block. Can block anyone. They're a little struggle on the free throw, so they might not go far. At least I don't have them going far, but I think they're going to be able to handle a Drake. I feel like size in college basketball is a huge thing compared to like in the NBA now with the 3 shootings and everything like that. But size in college basketball is huge. So I've got USC. Who do you got, Brian?
I also I got the Trojans of USC out of the Pac-12, eliminating our fan favorite pick Drake. But I got USC for multiple reasons. They got a guy named Evan Mobley. He's going to be a top maybe 7 draft pick in this upcoming draft. Phenomenal player, lanky player. His brother also plays on the team. And they're just, I've watched them play a few times, not a full game, but definitely moments. And when they click, they click. And I think in this matchup against Drake, I think they're going to be able to hold their own against Drake. I got USC moving along to the second round.
All right.
And finalizing the West region, our last matchup in the first round.
Oh, we got a couple more, don't we?
We got a couple more. I'm sorry. We got 3 more. I'm getting ahead of myself now.
Easy, baby.
I'm getting real ahead of myself. We got 3 more matchups. Excuse me. Sorry about that. We got Kansas, number 3 seed, who has been dealing with a lot of COVID issues these last few weeks. But nonetheless, they're Kansas. They're the Rock Chalk Jayhawk. They always seem to be there come March. But they got Eastern Washington University, EWU. Who you got in this one?
I got Kansas, Bill Self. Like you said, I do have that down. COVID-filled Big 12 tourney. But they've been hot late, and they've got an efficient defense. And one thing that really stuck out to me is their great second half team. That's huge for me, a team that can adjust. And also shout out to their best player. Excuse me on the pronunciation. Ochi Abaji, I think is how you say it. Yeah. He's a great. I did watch some highlights a couple days ago. He's a talent to look out for on their team. So go Kansas on this matchup. Who you got?
I actually got the first major upset right now. I can understand your pick from a basketball perspective, Peter, but I think with mine, there's a little bit of that COVID-related issues having some bias towards my pick. I'm going with EWU just mainly because I don't know if Kansas is going to be ready. And if they are, how ready are they going to be in shape-wise, in tune-wise, with missing that allotted time right before this tournament? I think it's going to hurt them. It's really going to hurt them. Kansas on paper, don't get me wrong, they're a phenomenal team on paper, but can they put it together? If they can put out a team, it's going to be testy. EWU, I haven't watched them play. They won their conference tournament, giving them the bid in, but I think that they can do it. They can do it for sure, whether they're playing Kansas or one of the playing the alternate standby teams. I think I got EWU moving on to the second round. You got to check their history. I can't tell you for certain if they've ever won an NCAA game, but it's going to be the first time that I'm ever picking them in a tournament. So there's a first. Mark it down. 14 seed moving on to the second round.
Okay, that is a major upset.
Yeah, upset alert. Next, we got number 7 seed, the Ducks of Oregon, playing Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU. This is a good matchup. I like this.
It is a good matchup.
Peter, I'll go first for this one. I'll be quick with it.
Go for it.
But I'm going Oregon out of the Pac-12. No bias because it's Oregon. I think actually Oregon is one of the sleeper dark horse teams in this tournament as a whole. Really, really underrated team. They got a great player named Chris Duarte, who's kind of like a Klay Thompson. He's a really solid shooter, great defender, and their just supporting cast has always been solid. It scares me. Sometimes they do make a lot of mistakes, a lot of turnover prone decisions, but I think They're going to beat VCU1, and they might have some noise left in them after that. So the rest we'll have to see where I go with. But that's my pick for this matchup. Peter, who you got?
Okay, I've got Oregon too. They are hot. 11 out of 12 is what I read. They're balanced scoring, vet team, 3-point shooting, as you said. Good little breakdown there, Ryan. I actually don't know. You sent me your bracket beforehand. Do you have them going far?
Yeah, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Not to spoil the riches for all of you, but I'm no Ducks fan on any other year. But this one, I have a special tingly feeling about those Ducks.
Okay.
Those weird jerseys that they love to wear in the court that looks like you're playing in the middle of a forest. but yeah, I got them. I got Oregon winning in that matchup. I'm glad we agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then next, and this is now, all right, this is now the final matchup of the West region. We got the number 2 Iowa Hawkeyes versus Grand Canyon University. Wow, I didn't even know they had a basketball team.
Apparently so.
I see their commercials all the time, and I thought it was like a DeVry University or something like that. Turns out that they actually got an athletic system. Great for them, and great for them for winning their conference, wherever that conference is or whatever it's called. but Grand Canyon University, the 15 seed, they're versing an Iowa team. A lot of talk surrounding their best player in Iowa, in Luka Garza. But I want to know, who do you got? Iowa?
I have Iowa winning. Now, I will shout out Grand Canyon. I did read that they have Bryce Drew, who is a kind of a hero of sorts in the March Madness, hit a game winner way back when. Look him up on YouTube. Really awesome little shot he hit there. But yeah, I've got Iowa. Luke Garza, as you mentioned, I have his name here. Player of the Year nominee, I believe. Double machine. Just a beast, looks like. They have good 3-point shooting, high ceiling, low floor is what I've heard. Top 10 offense, but yeah, like I just said, high ceiling, low floor. But I'll go with Iowa in this matchup. Who you got, Ryan, on this one?
Yeah, this one's got to be the easiest besides the Gonzaga game for me to pick in this first round. I got Iowa. Sorry again, no shade, Grand Canyon University. Peter, I know you just visited the Grand Canyon, but I'm sure that watching this team play wasn't on that bucket list as well.
No, it was not. They didn't
I
have
got
Iowa
Iowa
there.
Yeah, I got Iowa. Luka Garza, I mean, fantastic college basketball player. We'll see how he's going to pan out in the NBA, because for sure he's going to be playing at that next level. Scouts in the NBA don't really have him too high, which is kind of surprising, because every time I seem to watch him play, I'm always thinking, man, I would want him on my team, you know, and he plays phenomenally well. Big man, kind of old school, old fashioned, but he's going to be a player to watch for sure in this tournament. Number 2, Iowa, moving along to the second round.
Okay.
So that's the first section. That's the West.
Yeah. Round of 64.
Down, first round, just like that. We'll move along to the East now. And the East, the number 1 seed in the East is the Wolverines of Michigan. Sitting at 20-4 over the course of the year. And they're versing, for you, Peter, they're versing Texas Southern. For me, they're versing Mount St. Mary's. But I can attest, this may be another difficult one.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, yeah, as much as I love Texas Southern and Johnny Jones, Michigan is going to take this one to the bank. They had a COVID pause apparently mid-season, but apparently they've got all the stats down that you would want. Shout out to a freshman, Hunter Dickinson. Apparently he's one of the best in the nation. They've got senior forwards who was out with an injury. Isaiah, I can't even read my own handwriting, but he started.
Isaiah Livers? He's out?
Isaiah Livers. He was out with a foot injury, but I think he might be coming back. I'm not sure.
That's big. That's a big asterisk. Then
yeah, I don't. Put an asterisk on it. Don't take my word to the bank. But I got Michigan in this matchup.
Okay, I got Michigan too. Easy peasy lemon squeezy against the Mount St. Mary's. But Michigan, I mean, they're always a well-coached team. Always having some diversity with the freshman, sophomore, junior, senior mix. You know, they're never really too dominant in one of those categories. They're usually a balanced team. This year, I've watched them play. They're a good team, a really good team, deserving of that number 1 seed. they're not going to have any problem with Mount St. Mary's this round. Michigan moving
or
forward.
Texas Southern, whoever they
Or Texas Southern. Injuries or not, I mean, they could pretty much put on their walk-ons and they'll probably beat Mount St. Mary's. But I got Michigan going on. Next one. This is the big one. This is the big one for us fans of the Bayou Bengals and LSU. 8 seed. Almost came so close of winning that SEC championship game. Few tip-ins. Just couldn't go our way against the hated Crimson Tide, but still made it as an 8 seed. We play the Bonnies, the St. Bonaventures. Bonnies. What a name. What a university name that is.
Yes,
but it's going to be a good one. From a lot of the analysts, they said that this is going to be a really good game. LSU, amazing. We can score with the best of them, but at the same time, we don't play a lick of defense. So interesting take. We got to go with the alumni himself first with this one.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully it's not a biased pick by any stretch, but we'll see.
I was about to say it is pretty biased, but I mean, LSU is talented. I will give a shout out to Will Wade, who's just been an outstanding recruiter and really solid coach in his time here. I mean, the studs they got on the team: Cameron Thomas, Trendon Wolford, Javante Smart. I mean, these guys are absolute studs. You can't deny the talent. And you did say it right, though. While they're amazing on offense, defense, they're a little suspect. No NBA scouts exactly looking at their defense and saying, wow, they're tremendous defenders. Now, I will say Javante Smart does kind of remind me of like a little Tony Allen action, but like he's going to need to be a little bit more engaged if he wants to compare to the grind father there. But I got LSU in this matchup. I like I said, I haven't watched much college basketball. I have seen a little LSU highlights, obviously, because I'm down here and LSU fan. So, but that's as much as I've watched. How about you, Ryan? Bias pick?
Yeah. So no bias pick here. This is actually from a college basketball analyst perspective that I'm chiming in on. But I actually got LSU. Of course, I couldn't go against us. I got the 8th seed LSU Tigers moving along. Bonnies, I did some research on them. They're actually a really good, well-built team too. I saw a stat that they have 4 guys that average more than 11 points, which in college basketball is pretty impressive because it shows that you have balance to you, which kind of scares me, especially when, like we just mentioned, I mean, we don't play a lick of defense, but I think with us, we're battle tested for sure. We've had a lot of games this year where, we're close. We've had a lot of humbling games. We've had a lot of good wins too, as well. So I think with that mix, it's just going to be just enough to put us to that next round as an 8th seed. So LSU, baby, chalk it in. We got the Bayou Bengals going on to the second round. So we'll touch back on Peter's alma mater and our favorite college team in a sec. We'll move down the list. We got Colorado, the Buffaloes versus Georgetown, the Hoyas. Man, what a story that is with Ewing and the Hoyas. Who you got in this one?
I've got Colorado. I will say, give a shout out to Patrick Ewing for what a run. I mean, they had a losing record at one point in that Big East tourney, but they turned it around, won the tourney, and got in. So shout out to that. But I do have Colorado. I think they've got a solid. I haven't watched them, but according to my research, they've got a solid team. Good free throw shooting, efficient veteran team, limits turnovers, and good at 3-point shooting. So that sounds like a solid recipe for success in the tourney. So that's what I think. Ryan, what you got?
Wow. I saw Colorado and I thought to myself, man, they did damn good in the Pac-12 throughout the course of the whole year. The free throw shooting is what sticks out. I mean, in a tournament like this, you need good free throw shooting. And I think they're the best free throw shooting team in the whole land. So that's amazing. They have good guard play, but sometimes in March, and the name Madness comes to mind, of course, but sometimes in March, you just feel something special brewing. And I think that's exactly what's going on in Georgetown, down in the capital. I got Ewing and that Georgetown Hoya team getting past Colorado. Call it an upset. They just beat Creighton by 1 million. But I got them moving on to the second round. Number 12.
Inspired by that speech by Patrick Ewing. Like, do you know my name?
Yeah. I mean, it made me want to just try out walk on for St. Bonaventure or something. but I mean, great story. Georgetown. I mean, such a historically
for sure
well-known basketball college. I mean, the history just speaks for itself with Ewing, AI. I mean, it just
John
goes
Thompson
on and on.
was-
John,
yeah.
I mean, that's a great college basketball school. Can't be more happier for them. But I got them, advancing, beating Colorado. And then moving forward now to Florida State. Seminoles out of the ACC. They're the 4 seed. They're versing 13th seed UNC Greensboro. So, wow, what a name that is.
Well, hello.
Number 13 seed. Who you got?
I've got number 4, Florida State. I believe their coach is a former NBA coach, I want to say. He just got extended. I did read that. I go by known coaches. I forgot his name, but I do know he's a former NBA coach and he's been around. I do have here that they have great offense. 5 players, at least 1 3-pointer per game. That's a pretty nice stat. Great offensive rebound, good interior D. They're number 4 seed. I think they're going to be able to handle business. But what do I know? I'm just some young punk kid in a green jacket.
We're just casuals, but who knows? This may be it. This may be the bracket that everyone has been looking for their whole lives. Because with me, I got same thing, Florida State. And this is just nothing added, nothing else added, no sugar added, nothing else. It's just Florida State. Chop it up like that. They're not the best Florida State this last 5 years that they've had, but I think they get a good matchup against UNC Greensboro. I just like that name. I like saying Greensboro. I like how it's spelled too, Boro.
Why don't you choose them then?
I should, but I've never hated the Seminoles. And one of those Seminoles is possibly going to be our starting quarterback next year in Jameis Winston. So I'm not going to talk bad about no Seminoles right now, but that's a topic for another day. Moving down the list, we got Birmingham Young University, BYU.
Versus our Michigan State, what we chose, I believe.
Yes, versus Sparty. Who you got?
I've got BYU. They apparently 3 of their 6 losses is to Gonzaga. So, I mean, they really should only have 3 losses. I mean, obviously it's going to count, but I mean, only 3 other losses. They're a deep team, 10-man rotation, led by a veteran guard, and they've got good offense. I like what I'm hearing, so I'm going to go with them on this matchup.
All right. Well, Peter, you like what you're hearing. I like what I'm seeing. I actually got the chance to watch BYU in the championship game against Gonzaga. I watched them prior to that, the game against Pepperdine. That went to overtime, but I like their team. I think that their team is tailor-made for March Madness. They got a nice balance. They got big guys that are legit big. And they can at least have some skill set dribbling the ball too. They're just not back to the basket type of players. These guys are skilled, can shoot the outside, pretty okay at free throws. But I think those 3 games against Gonzaga, I mean, that's experience right there. That's experience. And although they came up short, all 3 of those games, I think they took away more than other teams do in their losses against, you're playing the number 1 team in the nation, Gonzaga 3 times. I mean, you gotta improve as a unit from then on. I got number 6 BYU beating Sparty, Tom Izzo and the Michigan State Spartans. Next one, we got number 3, the Longhorns of Texas out of the Big 12. Versus Albine Christian.
Yeah,
I'm going to be quick with this one. I got Texas. I've watched Texas play a few times. I love their coach. What's his name? Shaka Smart. Yeah. I mean, even dating back to his VCU run days where he was, bald then. Now he grew out his hair. So it's an added flavor. But he's been phenomenal as a coach. I've loved the intensity that he brings. And his players always seem to play hard. Yes, sometimes that can be sometimes negative because they do turn over the ball a lot. But I like Texas. They have a couple guys that are NBA prospects for sure. They're a number 3 seed for a reason. I'm sorry, Albine Christian, but don't know too much about you or your school. But I got Texas beating you guys.
Yeah, congrats to making the tournament at least. So,
yes,
but
that's good enough sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, hell, that's recognition. At least people like us are talking about it. So
yeah,
shout out to them. But yeah, I'm going to go with Texas in this matchup. Shaka Smart, people have been a little disappointed with his production at Texas, but he looks like he's putting it together this year. You know, he's got one of the most talented teams in the nation. Andrew Jones, shout out to him. I believe he's a cancer survivor, I read, or something like that.
Yes, he had it. I think his either freshman or sophomore year he had it, and now so that's a very remarkable story.
Right,
Beautiful story.
Inspiring. Absolutely, crates off the dribble is what they tell me. They have vets that can distribute it. I believe they just got a 3-point shooter back, Jace Ferbs, I believe is how you say it. Forgive me if I mispronounce that, but they too are a hot team. They won their first conference championship in 26 years, apparently. But you told me the Big 12 tournament didn't even happen, really. So, but hey, a win's a win. So I'm going to go
Win's a win.
Matchup.
All right. Texas moving forward. Chalk it in. Next matchup, we got UConn, another college with just such history in this tournament, especially in the last 20 years, but just in general, UConn, they're the 7th seed. They're playing the Maryland Terrapins. Who you got?
I've got good old UConn. Like you just said, they're an old school team. Not really old school team this year, but I'm just saying they do have success in this tournament with Jim Calhoun. So shout out to him. But they've got rhythm as of late. Return of leading scorer James Banking. I don't know. I can't read my own handwriting, but shout out to him. He's returned, but they need some other people to step up in order to get a deep run, according to what I've read. But they will win this matchup. Mark it down.
Mark it down. Wow. Well, we split on one finally.
Hey,
I got Maryland moving forward. UConn always they seem to make noise this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, unfortunately, is not going to be their year to do that. I got Maryland. I mean, this is just my pick. I don't know how to dice it up any prettier than that. But Maryland, 10 seed, moving forward to the second round, beating UConn, beating the Huskies. And our last matchup, we made it down to the last matchup of the East, the 2 versus 15. It is our hated Alabama Crimson Tide. Man, I hate them. Versus Iona, 15th seed. Alabama coming fresh. And when I say fresh off of their SEC championship victory where they won the tournament against LSU. Man, they're a good team this year. They've been a really good team this year. It hurts me to say it. It really does.
I was about to say, stop putting in the airways.
No, it hurts me to say it.
Yeah.
But I got them moving along.
Yeah, same.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to say anything nice about this team because I don't want to.
Yeah. I will say they've got a SEC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC. Herbert Jones or Aber Jones? Yeah. It don't matter. It's Alabama. I'm sorry, Alabama fans, if you listen to this. Not a fan, as you can see with my pillow. But
yeah,
they got the SEC Coach of the Year, Nate Oates. Good D, led SEC in rebounds and steals and 3 points. Mediocre free throw shooting, though. So,
yeah, say it loud with your chest.
Mediocre
yes,
free throw shooting. So that could affect you.
That could really affect him. But I have to give a shout out to someone on their team, one of Jelly Fam's finest, Javon Quinley. He's on the team. He transferred from Villanova. I used to watch his mixtapes because he just, oh my gosh, it's so saucy with it. But I'd love to not speak about any Bama player to this regard. But other than that, they're moving on. We can't say anything more.
Mm-hmm.
Get that out of the way. So yeah, that was our East section of the bracket. First round. We'll move along now to the south side of the bracket.
All right.
Yes, sir.
What we got here?
Here we go. South side, top of the list. Many people believed at one point they were the best team in the nation. I got the Bears of Baylor out of the Big 12 versus Hartford. Wow, Hartford.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Chalk it up. Baylor, great team. I'm moving them past Hartford without a sweat.
Yeah, same here. We'll just this is an easy number 1 seed that's going to advance. Easy.
Like it's going to be a blowout. It's probably going to be a 40-point game at the half.
Yeah, you can play this back if they lose. I don't care. It's going to happen.
it's gonna-
They're gonna
yeah,
win.
this is going to be the biggest blowout in the first round. Mark my words. Baylor versus Hartford. Like, I don't even know if Hartford's going to get 30 points. All right, they'll get 30. They'll get like 35. And then Baylor's going to get like 83.
Oh boy, someone's gonna
No
play
math-
this when Hartford wins.
Yeah. And it's over. Hartford, the second 16 seed. At that point, we're just shutting down our channel.
Yeah.
But that's the easiest matchup, in my opinion, for sure. Baylor versus Hartford, 1 versus 16. Moving along to the 8 versus 9 matchup. This is a juicy one, a real juicy one. Again, on paper, this could have been a Final Four matchup any other year.
Oh yeah.
North Carolina versus Wisconsin. Peter, who you got?
I've got North Carolina.
Me too.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Same.
8.
Good D
Same.
coming in hot. Wisconsin's got good D, but I don't know. I like North Carolina's jerseys better, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know my logic.
It's fine. North Carolina, you can't bet against them in the tournament. I'm going with them, 8th seed. I mean, come on now. When do we ever see them as an 8th seed, right? So
The sky is the ceiling.
yeah, sky is going to be the ceiling. And I think Roy always has them boys ready. They're always ready to go. They always play with enthusiasm. I mean, when you're putting on that North Carolina blue, it's something special.
Oh, yes.
It's really something special. So I think for them, they're going to come out, play tough against a really good Wisconsin team. At the beginning of the season, they had high expectations. Unfortunately, they did not live up to those expectations. I mean, like we've mentioned, the Big Ten was, I mean, that's murder's row this year. I mean, it's been great teams after great teams. Unfortunately, they didn't rise to the top, but they're still in the tournament, but they're going to be beaten by North Carolina.
Okay.
Moving forward, we got another team, a team that's won twice in the last, 5 years in Villanova. Little disappointing to end their season this year. They end up as a 5 seed dealing with some injuries, but they play Winthrop. Wow. Winthrop. Shout out to all the Winthrop alumni. And the reason why I say shout out is because y'all better make some noise, because I got you guys beating Villanova in the first round, 12 versus 5. I got the 12 Winthrop. I don't even know their mascot, but it's not a Wildcat. And that's who I got them beating. Villanova, I'm sorry, you had your fun. 2 years, yay, giggling, all that, national championship game winner, all of that. Beautiful. It's all beautiful. But not this year. Not this year. I got number 12 Winthrop moving forward. Peter, what do you think?
I actually agree with you, Ryan.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go, Winthrop alum. Join the Anaks podcast.
Wait, yes, join us. Join us. The 10 of you guys.
Apparently, they only have one loss this year, or what? Yeah, only have one loss. They play fast, play a lot of guys. And Villanova, like you said, they started great but struggled late. And best senior guard, Colin Gillespie. Apparently, they lost him for the season.
Yeah, they lost him. He was on, I think, their last championship team when they had. Oh, they were stacked. They had like Michael Bridges. They had Jalen Brunson that year. They had a stacked team. I think they beat Michigan in the championship game that year. I think that was 3 years ago. But yeah, he was on that team, young guy at the time. But yeah, losing him, I mean, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah,
and
that's a tough
Villanova,
cookie.
they've had a tough year. And I'm just looking up Winthrop now. Sorry to jot back to this, but they're actually the Eagles.
Hey,
I mean, their logo kind of looks like if Atlanta Hawks went back to I don't know, the drawing board and decided to be less creative. Yeah. So Winthrop Eagles. I don't even know where they're from. I think they're from. Let's see. If we're picking them, we gotta do our research, right?
Yeah. At least give them a shout out.
Yeah. Shout out alumni again. I might make T-shirts. Shout out alumni Winthrop Eagles. Hold on.
Go there for our graduate degrees.
Yeah, I might just have to. Just might have to after this, especially if they beat Villanova. They might just hang a banner for that. Let's see. They're in the Big South.
Oh, I want to say, are they in South Carolina, or is that another team I was reading up?
Yeah, they are. Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Hey, That's what I
Shout
thought.
out South Carolina. Man, and I'm sure Zion didn't have his eyes set on this university, but shout out
for the
Winthrop.
win.
Winthrop for the win all the way. I feel
Yeah.
like they might have something brewing. They just might. They just
Cinderella.
might. But
Cinderella
yeah.
has COVID this year.
Yes, yes. Slip on your glass slipper and your mask, please. All right. Next, we got
That's going in a trailer.
Purdue. Shout out Purdue. Every time I see Purdue, I first think of Drew Brees. I hate to bring him up again, but man, I miss you. But anyways, Purdue, they're the 4 seed, the Boilermakers, and they're playing University of North Texas. So at least we know where North Texas is. We don't need to look that up. But for me, this one's rather easy. I got Purdue, number 4 seed, moving on.
Okay.
Again,
I got Purdue as well. They've got the tallest roster in the Big Ten, which equates to good rebounding, apparently.
Yes. I mean, sometimes the statistics just add up. And when you tell me that, that's just music to my ears when I'm selecting this bracket. Because, I mean, you can't teach size. I mean, you really can't. You really can't. I mean, it's factually proven you can't. So,
it's true, especially in college basketball.
And,
I will say LSU, a few years back, they were so depleted with talent. They had a 7-foot tuba player playing, and he was effective just because.
Yeah. I mean, you're there. You're there.
Yeah.
Like, move me, right? Try. So that's the thing with Purdue. They always seem to have a really strong core, and I guess this year that core is behind all of the tall players. So number 4, Purdue, moving along against North Texas. Shout out North Texas. Sorry, alumni, I'm not choosing them to upset Purdue though. Moving on to Texas Tech. So sticking in that Texas region, Texas Tech, 17-10. I mean, up and down year for them for sure. I mean, there were moments where I think they were a top 8 team in the league, in the whole nation, I should say. And now they're 17-10, ending a little rocky. They get Utah State.
Ooh.
Wow, Utah State. I think I've heard of them.
I feel like we were watching them last year when you were over. Like we just had a random game on.
We had them on late night. You know what I mean? and they were pretty good from what I remember. So I got Utah State losing though. I got Texas Tech. I got Texas Tech winning. They got a phenomenal player in Mac McClung. So for those of you, I mean, most people that watch highlight tapes know who Mac McClung is. I mean, this boy has absolute bounce. I mean, he can dunk on anybody, but he's also an exciting player. His game has developed over the years, but he is a really exciting player to watch. I think his team will get it done. 6 Texas Tech seed will move along. What about you, Peter?
I also, God, voice crack. I also have Texas Tech advancing. Maybe they can make another run. I don't know. They made a run last time. But anyway, I've got them winning this matchup. Apparently they forced turnovers, really good defense, solid free throw shooting. So we'll see if that pays off.
Yeah, that's every coach's dream, those two combinations. Just solid free throw shooting and just intense ball hawking defense. I mean, organized defense. And that's exactly what they play at Texas Tech. Good team. But like we mentioned, and like I mentioned, had a up and down roller coaster of a year. But let's see if they can put it together when it really matters. But 6 seed Texas Tech moving forward, beating Utah State. Down the list, we got our SEC friend and the college that we watched LSU beat last year, Arkansas Razorbacks. Here we go. Who you got?
Suey Razorbacks. I got you on this matchup, at least.
Yes.
They've
against
won
the best toothpaste brand in the world.
Colgate.
Sorry, Crest. Your team didn't make it this year.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Arkansas apparently won 12 out of 13. High-powered offense, talented players. Sounds good with me. Against
I got Arkansas too. They played us tough this year for sure. They're a great team. I don't hate them as much as I hate, of course, Bama, as we hate Bama. But definitely with Arkansas, they have a good basketball team this year. Moses Moody, someone to watch, player to watch. He's a great player. He's fun to watch player. I think that he's going to shine in this tournament. I got Arkansas beating good old Colgate. But next matchup, we have the Gators of Florida, also our SEC counterpart. versus Virginia Tech. So this is a very good matchup. I like this matchup too.
Yeah.
Two well-known teams, quality basketball programs that they have. Peter, who you got in this 7-10 matchup?
I have Virginia Tech. Write down anything for Virginia Tech. I think it's just because of the negatives on Florida. They've lost their best player, Keontae Johnson. They're inconsistent apparently, and Virginia Tech is solid. So
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, what you said about Florida is true. They're so inconsistent. Yes, they've lost their best player. On paper, if we just strictly look at this on paper, they have a good team. But yeah, just some of the stuff just never got going. I mean, there's no cohesion. But I think with this, I think they'll put it together for one game at least. For at least one game. And Virginia Tech, they've been always a solid team come March Madness, but I don't think this year they'll have a win. I got Florida.
I have a stat here. They're 4-0 against top 25 teams. Virginia Tech is. So
oh, wow.
I guess that's why I chose them.
Well, good thing Florida's not a top 25 team. All right. But we'll see. That's one we'll be watching for us for sure. Closely to see who wins that one, that 7-10 matchup. But moving down the list, we got, and in our final matchup now in the South Side region, we got Ohio State, who came so close in winning that Big Ten championship, fell short of Illinois, versus Oral Roberts. What a name.
Yes.
15 seed. Peter, who you got?
I've got Ohio State. I don't really see. You usually don't see 1 seeds and 2 seeds losing. I don't see this one in this case. Ohio State's usually a powerhouse. They stumbled in the regular season, but strong in the Big Ten's tourney. Inside out play. They shout out to EJ Liddell and
EJ Liddell. Yep.
Yeah, and Dwayne Washington. Apparently they combine 30 points per game or something like that. Good free throw shooting. Turnover rate is good as well. So I'm gonna go with Ohio State on this one.
Yeah, pretty easy pick for sure.
Yeah.
I got the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Will they make a run and avenge their football counterparts and win the whole thing? I mean, we'll see. But Oral Roberts is not going to pose any threat to them this matchup. They're Ohio State. They're small, so that's the number one thing about them. They're a small team. I don't think they have anyone over 6'9", so that's can be somewhat concerning. And
interesting.
It really surprised me though, because you looked at where they played this year in the Big Ten, and I mean, most of those other Big Ten teams have big men that are really, really quality. So they were able to still hold their own and go 21-9. But again, like I said, the 9 losses, they're coming against quality opponents for sure. I got Ohio State moving forward. And that's it. That's the South region, all the first rounds of the South region. So we're finally down to our last region, and that's the Midwest region.
Ooh, the Midwest.
Yes, Midwest region. And the Midwest region is topped with the number 1 seed and the Big Ten championship winning team, the Fighting Illini of Illinois. And they play Drexel. What a name that is. Drexel. Ooh,
nice.
That sounds that sounds really nice. But I know when Illinois saw Drexel, I mean, they were cheering because they know that they're going to just run Ramshaw over this team. I got Illinois beating Drexel. Illinois is a quality team, man. They had a well-built team. Again, their kind of dynamic is of a team that usually does well this time of year. So I'm going to pick Illinois. Okay. Not a hard selection for sure.
Yeah, not in this matchup. I would say this whole region, it's got some talents. Real talents on the team, and starting with Illinois, I do have them in this matchup. Just give them a shout out. I'm sorry if I mispronounced them. AU Desunmu.
Desunmu, yeah.
Desunmu, great guard for Illinois. Coffee Coburn, not Cockburn. Coburn.
What a name!
Apparently he's Shaq Light. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh man,
we won't go there. I would say Joel Embiid. I've seen some highlights. He's more Joel Embiid right now.
Okay.
So, yeah. But he's
he's in a cast 24/7.
Oh well.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding. Sorry, Joel.
He's a beast, and they got Andre Corbello. So they got some talents. I'm gonna go with him on this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Illinois, love that breakdown. Quality team, really quality team. But like you said, this whole entire region, they have some studs in there. So we'll go over that when they come along. But the next matchup, oh man, it's one of our favorite Cinderella stories of this past millennium. We got Loyola Chicago, who went 24-4. So great record there. I know they're playing some cupcakes here and there, but that's still a great record. Versus Georgia Tech, who won the ACC tournament. So good matchup here again, 8-9 matchup. I got Loyola. I'm still riding their Cinderella wave from 3 years back. I haven't watched either of these teams play, but I'm going with Loyola Chicago. I'm going with gut.
You're gonna ride with the nun. I forgot her name. Excuse me. But,
yeah. Oh shoot. Forgive us for forgetting.
But she was a diehard
yes
for them, and that's awesome. Sometimes, hey, you said they have cupcakes. Sometimes you need little cupcakes in the diet.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's right. You got to sprinkle in the cupcakes. Without it, like what is there to life, you know? And this is exactly what Loyola is. It's a cupcake, and or they're not a cupcake, but you know, you get the point. Loyola Chicago, 8th seed, moving forward.
I've got Georgia Tech in this one.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
You got Georgia Tech.
Yeah, just because they're the Golden Jackets.
Yeah.
ACC Player of the Year, Moses Wright, won ACC.
Stingers.
Yeah, Stingray. You got efficient offense, generate turnovers. I guess that's good enough.
Okay, beautiful take. I mean, the mascots, both of them have amazing mascots. Maybe top 30 mascots, both of these ones. But yeah, with me, I'll actually just go with gut. I'm choosing Loyola, just come from gut,
Gotcha.
gut feeling. But gut check. But yes, next we have another SEC team. We got Tennessee at the 5 seed. The Tennessee Volunteers. They play Oregon State.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Them Beavers. Who you got in this one? This is a good matchup, too.
This is a good matchup.
Yeah.
I've actually
Oregon
got the 12 seed again.
Oh,
Oregon
wow.
State.
Wow.
This is like, I think, what is that, 2 or 3? I've chose the 12 seed. But Oregon State, they're coming in hot. They just won their first Pac-12 championship. Won 6 out of 7. They're inconsistent on O, but you know, and they're relying on their backcourt. But I've got a feeling on this one. Tennessee's inconsistent. They've got good D and free throw shooting, but yeah, like I said, they only rely on a 7-man rotation. They're inconsistent and lack depth. So I'm gonna go with number 12, Oregon State. Who you got, Ryan?
Oh, you got a Pac-12 team moving forward. I like it. I love it, actually. I love that. But yeah, I got Tennessee. I don't know why, but Tennessee, I've gotten to watch them a few times this year, and they look like they're a tough team to beat. And I think Oregon State definitely just the Cinderella juice has run out for them for sure. I think it's that time. Yes, it's an amazing story that they got here. Amazing story that they made the tournament, but I think their run ends here in the first round against Tennessee. It's going to be a good game, though. It's going to really be a good game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, actually. Maybe in the low 60s final score. 1 possession game, but I got Tennessee edging it out.
Okay.
By the slightest of margins. And yeah, that's who I got. And you got Oregon State, so we'll see how those picks pan out. Moving forward, though, we got most people's favorite team to watch right now, Oklahoma State.
Ooh.
Oklahoma State, and they're playing Liberty. Wow, that's a great matchup, man. That is an amazing matchup. Who you got?
Well, I usually would say give me liberty or give me death, but in this case, we're going to
What a quote.
Yep. Give me Oklahoma State over Liberty in this case.
Yeah. Give me Cade Cunningham.
Yes. I was just
that's it.
Yeah. I watched some highlights of him. He is a capable young man on the basketball court.
Yes, absolutely.
They've got capable support as well. So we'll see if they go far in my bracket. I do like them. So Cade Cunningham is going to lead them on this one for sure.
He is as polished of a player from a freshman's perspective as you could ever have wished for. And Oklahoma State, they've got a lot of gritty players on that team. A lot of players that are willing to do the dirty work. You know, bruisers like Montrezl Harrell type players. And it's all kind of finessed by Cade Cunningham being there too. And he's not afraid of that last shot. He's not afraid of the moment. He's got a little Damian Lillard clutch gene in him, if you will. But yeah, he's going to be the best player on the court pretty much in any game that they're playing. So especially in this tournament, give me the team with the best player. I got Cade Cunningham and Oklahoma State as well. Moving on. Liberty, a shout out to them. I did some research on them. They're actually a really, really good team, well-coached team. They play the same style as Virginia. So they love that defensive style system, use the clock, chop the game down, which I think is great, especially for this tournament. But I don't think it's great when you're playing pretty much the best player in college basketball and Cade Cunningham when he's absolutely been clicking on all cylinders right now. So it's just a bad matchup. But yeah, we got Oklahoma State moving forward as the 4th seed. Next, we got the 6 versus 11. We got the 6th seed San Diego State Aztecs. Shout out again, California, against the Syracuse Orange, a team also we know very well around this time of year. You mentioned it earlier with Melo. I mean, they can make some noise. They've made some Final Fours these last few years. They always seem to make noise no matter what seed they are. But yeah, this year they're 11th seed, and then they're playing San Diego State. Who you got?
I've got San Diego State, and I really do like them. They've got a top 10 defense, and both in scoring and field goal percentage. So they're really good in keeping points off the board in terms of against the other team. They've got a pair of gifted scorers, Jordan, excuse me on these pronunciations, Skakel and Skakel, yeah, and Matt Mitchell. I don't know. I just like that they have a really solid defense. I think that goes well. And then you have those two really, really good scorers. That's a good pairing for me. So I'm going to go with them in this matchup for sure.
Okay.
Who you
Good take. San Diego State Aztecs. I think they're a year removed from that run that they want to have. Last year, they were amazing last year. And unfortunately, we all know we didn't have a tournament last year. They were amazing. Yes, most of those pieces have stayed, but I think this year they just lack that something. And unfortunately, yes, they're a phenomenal team. Those stats that you just said, I mean, they're not a fluke being there, at the 6th seed. But Syracuse, I can't bet on them in March. Like you just can't. You just can't. I mean, that's like betting against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Like you just can't. You can't do it. Syracuse, Jim Boeheim. I mean, well-coached team. They love to play that 2-3 zone that they love to really just press you. But yeah, I like Syracuse in this matchup as the 11th seed moving forward. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Bam, bam, bam. Chop
Fair
it up.
enough.
Yep. And then next, speaking about pressing, this is a team notorious for pressing, and most people have honestly deemed them as Press Virginia instead of West Virginia. We got number 3 seed West Virginia, the Mountaineers versus arguably the best college name in sports, Morehead State.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
No, I got to keep it G-rated. But yes, shout out Morehead State. They're the 14th seed. They sit with a record of 23-7. Like I said, they're playing Press Virginia. Who you got, Peter, in this matchup?
I've got West Virginia, number 3 seed. They've got superior interior play, Derek Culver. Basically, I just have Derek Culver equals rebound in this paper. They are 4-7 against ranked opponents, so maybe not going to be able to do well going forward. But good 3-point shooting and defense. So I like them in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, as much as I wanted to have it.
Said then.
I got West Virginia. You can't deny the press. Bob Huggins, amazing coach. One of the best coaches in college basketball. Love what he does. This isn't the best West Virginia team the last 5 years for sure. But I think in this matchup, they'll take Morehead State. I got them moving along. And then finally, now this is it for the first round. This concludes the first round.
We got a couple more.
No. Yes, we do have a couple more. I'm getting ahead of myself again. We got Clemson Tigers. Yes. Clemson Tigers. No, Trevor Lawrence is not the starting point guard of this Clemson Tiger team. But the Clemson Tigers come in as a 7 seed. They're 16-7. So they've had a pretty good year in the ACC. But they play Rutgers University, a team that, yeah, a college that not many people had penciled in as a tourney team to start the year, but they ended up the year 15 and 11 as a 10 seed. And I got them. I'm going to be quick with it. I got him. I got 10 Rutgers taking down Clemson. If this was on the football field, oh my goodness, no way. Not even close. But this is basketball. I got Rutgers 10 seed moving forward. Rutgers University, stand up.
Okay, Rutgers University. You know, the first time I heard Rutgers University, I watched the movie Cookout.
Yeah.
They had a dude named Todd Anderson. That was the star player in that movie, and he was from Rutgers. So that was the first time I've ever heard Rutgers. But
Shout out.
I can't give them in this match.
No.
Gotta go
Wow.
Clemson Tigers with the discount brand Tiger.
Hmm.
But they got lead D. They forced turnovers. Poor 3-point shooting, but good ball movement and deep rotation. So I'm going to go with them on this one.
Yeah, Clemson. I mean, I remember one time I checked their score and they only scored like 20 points, and it was like the second half, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Oh Lord!
And there's been many instances where they've had a lot of low scoring affairs. I know they got blown out by like Duke by like 100, or like Florida State by like 50 or something like that this year. So I'm like, goodness me. I'm sorry, Clemson fans out there, but I'm choosing Rutgers in this one. Peter, you're going with Clemson, so we'll see how that turns out. And now, there we go. No premature celebrations just yet. Last matchup we have of the first round and of the Midwest Division and region. Houston versus Cleveland State. Wow, Houston versus Cleveland State. What a matchup. 2 versus 15. Peter, who you got in this final matchup?
I've got Houston. Now, they're saying this might be the best Houston team since Phi Slamma-Jamma.
Dang.
I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go there. They are a good team, though. Good D, good O. They get good second chance points. Shot creating guard Quentin Grimes is a good player to look out for. I watched a little highlights of him. He kind of reminds me of a little Malcolm Brogdon. Kind of that nice steady play, good pace guard, can score. And they got a couple other vets, seniors, Justin Gorham and Dejan Jaru. I'm sorry, my pronunciation's terrible, but you know who I'm talking about if you're Houston. So I'm going to go with them. Cleveland, this is not for you in this matchup.
No, Cleveland State. I'm sorry. LeBron's not walking through those doors anytime soon. And if he was, maybe I'll change my decision. But I got Houston. Going forward as a 2 seed. Cleveland State, I'm sure you've had an amazing season to get here, but unfortunately it ends here. And Houston's going to win 2 seed. And that pencils in, stamp it on the board. Our whole first round games have been dissected, chosen. We have the winners. All right. So now back to the top. Second round, we're starting off. For me, I got Gonzaga, number 1 Gonzaga, beating number 9 Missouri. I got number 5 Creighton, beating number 4 Virginia. I got Creighton pulling up that upset again versus Virginia. And number 6 USC, beating 14th EWU. So I got Pac-12 USC moving forward to the Sweet 16. And lastly, in the West, I got number 7 Oregon pulling up an upset against Luka Garza and number 2 Iowa.
Okay.
To be that last team for me in the West going to the Sweet 16. So I got Gonzaga, Creighton, USC, and Oregon all moving forward to the Sweet 16 in the West. Peter, what about you? What you got?
Interesting. So I got Gonzaga as well. I've got Gonzaga being Oklahoma in my case. I've got Virginia being Santa Barbara. And then I got Kansas being USC. And I got Oregon as well beating Iowa. So that's pretty interesting, that little last part that we both chose Oregon. I don't know what it is. I guess you like Oregon. What did you think of that?
Yeah, Fighting Ducks, man. Fighting Ducks for me. I mean, I just don't know. I think that they have something special brewing up there. Underrated season for sure. And everybody's hyping up Luka Garza. And again, we talked highly of him, but I think in this scenario, I think Oregon's just a good matchup. Or Iowa's a good matchup for Oregon. I think they'll take it. And for me, it pencils in a Pac-12 Sweet 16 in this portion with USC versus Oregon. So that's going to be interesting for me. But that's the first West. Any last bits from that round, Peter?
I think we're kind of mix and match because we did choose other teams in the first round. But you didn't have any upsets, right? You had USC being Washington, which is fine.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. You had Creighton being Virginia.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is,
I had Creighton versus Virginia beating them. Creighton's going to get hot once they win that game, because of course we talked about it. They're fresh off that loss in the championship by 100 to Georgetown. But once they get that loss off their chest and they beat UCSB, they're just going to run table. They're going to be hot. They're going to be real hot. So that's why I got them.
all right. I feel that. Yeah, I've got Virginia advancing. Virginia, I just feel like they're the heart of the champion sort of thing. So, they're going to be against number 12 for me, Santa Barbara.
All right. So now we'll head down to the East. For me, I got number 1 Michigan beating number 8 LSU. I'm sorry, Tiger fans. I'm sorry I had to go against you. It's just I have to be brutally honest, unfortunately, and I think Michigan's going to take 8 LSU out. I got number 12 Georgetown, Patrick Ewing making some more noise, beating Florida State. Number 4 Florida State going to be knocked out by 12 Georgetown. And I got another upset. I got BYU beating Texas. So I mean, madness, mayhem.
Absolutely.
And then lastly, unfortunately, to not add to the mayhem, I got Bama. I got Bama beating number 10 Maryland for me. So I got Michigan, number 1 Michigan, number 12 Georgetown playing each other in the Sweet 16. And then I got BYU, number 6 versus number 2 Bama playing in the Sweet 16 of the East bracket.
Okay.
What about you?
I got LSU pulling the upset.
Oh my.
Michigan. That is complete bias, really. I
complete
love
bias.
our studs. I love our studs.
Yes.
We'll see in the next rounds if I have them keep going further. But yeah, I just think our studs come out to play when the lights are shining bright in the tournament. That's just my feeling. It's usually the case at LSU. So yeah, go Tigers on that one.
Oh man, that is bias. I'm glad that at least one of us is non-biased, but it.
I'm realistic though. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. I'm not going to have them going all the way.
They have a shot. They have a shot. If they can get a stop.
Yeah.
And that's a big if. If they can get a stop, they have a shot.
Yeah.
But interesting takes. We'll move on now to the south side of the bracket.
Oh, wait. I got to do my other picks.
Oh, shoot. All right. BYU Bama. I'm always just getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, I got Colorado beating Florida State in mine. Colorado State's a solid team. I just feel like they're going to be steady on that one. Texas being BYU, so I'm differing you on that one. I just believe in talent. I think Texas got the talent to push forward. And unfortunately, I too have Bama as well moving forward.
Yeah. We'll brush that aside, but yes, we'll chalk it into the next round for what it's worth. So great picks there. Yes, I mean, the Texas one, Texas BYU, that is going to be a good game. If we're blessed to have that game, that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
I got BYU winning as you do have Texas winning, but it's going to be a close game. I'm excited to watch that game if it happens. That's going to be a toss up.
Yeah.
But the LSU Michigan, say what you want. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to take you to court for it. But LSU, if they can just get a stop, there's a chance. Because they can score 100 in a game.
Mm-hmm.
But the other team can score 120 on it. That's the problem. Can they cut that number down? We'll see. But yeah, that's the east side of the bracket. So the Sweet 16 is set for both Peter and myself's brackets. We'll move on now to the South region. So I'll start off from the top. I got number 1 Baylor beating number 8 UNC. So sorry, UNC, you beat the first team, but you're not going to get past Baylor. And unfortunately, my Winthrop faithful, thank you for sticking around so long. But I got the Purdue Boilermakers taking you out of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Purdue. And then I got number 6, Texas Tech taking out Arkansas. So somewhat of an upset, a 6 versus 3. But I got number 6, Texas Tech. And that defense, that stingy defense, and Matt McClung, I got them moving forward. And then I got Ohio State, the Ohio State Buckeyes, advancing past Florida. So I got Baylor, number 1 seed, versus Purdue in the Sweet 16. Then I got number 6, Texas Tech versus number 2, Ohio State in the Sweet 16.
Okay.
Peter, I want to know yours. I
chose pretty much the same teams, Baylor, Purdue, except I chose Arkansas over Texas Tech. And I chose Ohio State over Virginia.
Okay.
My other one, but
So
interesting.
fairly similar picks, right?
Yeah,
Fairly
yeah,
similar.
very
Again, sorry to Winthrop. I'm sorry, Winthrop. You had an amazing run.
Yep.
The Eagles, but not yet. All right, not
Not
yet.
ready. You're a year
Not
away.
ready.
From being a year away.
Yes, change the logo. Maybe be a little bit more adventurous. All right, but not yet. Not yet. Unfortunately, not. But so yeah, so that's our south side of the region in the bracket. The Sweet 16 is set. Lastly, Midwest region. Peter, I done the first three first. Let me hear yours first. Down the list for you.
So I got Illinois against Georgia Tech. I got Illinois taking that one. That's gonna be a good one if we're blessed to have that one. And talents all over the court on that one. So I got Illinois advancing in that one. I got Oklahoma State beating Oregon State. Again, just Cade Cunningham and that talent. And then I'm sure Oregon State is playing amazing, but their run ends there. I've got number 6, San Diego State being West Virginia.
Damn.
To go to the Sweet 16. And then I've got Houston being Clemson, number 2 versus 7. So that's my picks. Ryan, what you got? What do you think?
Okay. Wow. So top of the list, I'll start. I got number 1, Illinois, taking out Loyola. I'm sorry, none. But the Final Four run is only going to be for 2018. And then I got Tennessee versus Oklahoma State. I got Cade Cunningham, again, just putting his team on his back. Beating out Tennessee. So Illinois versus Oklahoma State in the Sweet 16. And then Syracuse, the run goes on.
Oh.
Syracuse Magic in the orange. They take out West Virginia. And I got them going to the Sweet 16 to play number 2, Houston. Sorry, Rutgers University. But you guys are going to meet its match against Houston. Yeah. I got Syracuse versus Houston as the last Sweet 16 matchup.
Okay.
There it is. Those are Sweet 16 matchups. Man, this tasty. Bracket is something.
Yeah, that one's going to be a good one. Midwest. I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, so we got 16 teams left. Final 4 bids are almost there. We'll go from Sweet 16 to Elite 8, and then we'll pencil in right now who our Final 4 teams are in each specific region. So for me in the West, start back at the West, I got Gonzaga beating number 5 Creighton, and I got number 7 Oregon beating number 6 USC. So it's going to be a Elite 8 matchup of Gonzaga versus Oregon for me. I got Gonzaga winning it out, winning the West, and being the Final 4 team to come out of the West.
Wow, interesting. So I've got Gonzaga being Virginia in the Sweet 16. And I've got Kansas. Kansas is still alive in my bracket, ladies and gentlemen. They're beating Oregon in the Sweet 16. So I've got Gonzaga versus Kansas in the Elite 8. And I've got Kansas. COVID-filled Big 12 tournament. Bill Self.
Oh, my gosh.
I've got them going to the Final Four.
Look at you.
Take a picture.
Look at you.
Yeah.
What a pick. I mean, I have to stand by that enthusiasm behind it. I can tell that it's actually like, it's not biased. This is just all heart right here.
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate that, Peter. Existence. Yeah, it will. I'm not sure if it will, but I mean, it has a chance. It has a chance for sure. But Kansas got to put out a team. That's all they got to do.
That's true.
If they put out a team,
they actually have to show up.
They have to show up. But if they do show up, there'll be a good chance. They'll have a good chance. But okay, so that's our West bracket entirely filled. We'll move down to the East. I got number 1 Michigan. That was our last round. But I got number 1 Michigan beating number 12 Georgetown to reach the Elite 8. And then I got BYU beating Bama. So this will excite me just a little bit. I got BYU beating Bama to reach the Elite 8. And I got BYU beating Michigan to reach the Final 4.
Someone call Steve Young.
My gosh. Call him now. Let him know my picks. All right. Because I got BYU. Again, not too much thought or a lot of thought, but not too much education, I should say. But I got BYU just running the table, running it up. I mean, just executing it to perfection. They reach the Final Four. And for me, this side of the bracket, the Final Four matchup, I mean, who would have thought? It's a WCC matchup right now. We got Gonzaga versus BYU. What a matchup. What a matchup. Peter, who do you got?
Oh,
Out
on
of the
this
East.
side, I've got LSU versus Colorado in the Sweet 16. LSU's run ends here. I think Colorado would be a steady team that would be able to knock down LSU.
You got them beating Michigan and then losing to Colorado.
That's how
Come on.
inconsistent I got them.
God damn it.
It's completely unrealistic. But I have no idea.
It's
I'm gonna
fine.
go with Colorado in that matchup. I've got Texas versus Alabama. So shout out to Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas if y'all watch this and get that game. That would be an interesting for you guys. Two powerhouses in general, but I've got Texas, Shaka Smart, moving forward.
Shaka, baby. Oh, wow. Shaka Smart doing it.
Bringing back the VCU magic. And I've got them beating Colorado in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four versus Kansas. So,
oh my,
a little Big 12 action on that side.
Okay. Wow. That's picks that I've not heard to this point yet.
Yeah,
so
first
this
time.
is, I mean, something's brewing over there in Baton Rouge. I'm not sure what's brewing, but something is. But good picks, man. Good picks. I love the enthusiasm. Unfortunately, yes, your LSU Tigers are LSU Tigers. Yeah, they can get past Michigan, but just not enough to get past Colorado, I guess. But that's our East side. But yeah, you had Kansas versus Colorado.
Kansas versus Texas in the
Texas.
Final Four.
Okay. Kansas versus, oh wow. So you got your own little Big 12 matchup. I got my WCC matchup to pencil in on this side of the bracket. So okay, very interesting.
Yeah.
We'll go to the South. Peter, you go first this time for the Sweet 16 matchups.
All righty. Given that I'm from the South, I guess that's apropos.
Yeah.
So I got in my Sweet 16, I got Baylor versus Purdue, and I've got Baylor. Baylor Bears advancing to the Elite Eight. And then the other side, I've got, who is it? I've got Arkansas versus Ohio State, and I've got number 3 Arkansas advancing. They're hot, I'm telling you, but not hot enough to beat Baylor.
Oh my.
Baylor going to the Final Four.
Oh wow.
RG3, hear me out. I could be wrong, but I think Baylor's got its first Final Four in a long time.
Yes, it's been a long time. Baylor's a great team, an amazing team. Love your picks, Peter. Love them.
You got Ryan.
But I kind of differentiate on some of them. I got Baylor beating Purdue for me. So Baylor moves on to the Elite Eight. Then I got Texas Tech beating Ohio State. No, I'm sorry. I got Ohio State beating Texas Tech. Sorry to everyone was jumping their horses right now. But yeah, I got Ohio State beating Texas Tech to pencil in the Elite Eight matchup, which is a tremendous one of Baylor and Ohio State. That's going to be an amazing game. And I got the Ohio State Buckeyes beating the Baylor Bears in a great game. Great game. Edging them out by 5 points. I got Ohio State moving forward to the Final Four, representing the South region.
Wow.
So there it is. There it is.
That would be a good number 1 versus 2. I think it's a little biased. You're living with the Ohio State folks over there, Miles and Uncle Robert.
And so there might be some bias, but also I've gotten a glimpse at the team a little bit more than I would on a traditional year.
True.
And they're a good team.
Okay.
And I think they have what it takes. Again, I mentioned it. They're a little small in size, but I think they're overcompensated with their guard play and just their athleticism. So I got Ohio State representing the South. Our last and final. This one is true. This is our last and final region of the Midwest. We're dissecting it all the way up to the Final Four. Peter, again, I'll let you go first.
All right. So I got Illinois versus Oklahoma State. That is going to be an amazing game. If we get that is, if you're NBA scouts, just fill the arena. Of course, social distance, but fill the arena to watch this one because that's going to be a great one. And this one was a toss-up for me because I really believe in Cade Cunningham, but I can't go against Illinois' collective big 3 there. I'm going to go with them going to Elite Eight. And then I've got San Diego State, 6th seed versus number 2, Houston. I've got them beating Houston.
My gosh.
And they're going to the Elite Eight. But I've got number 1, Illinois, advancing to the Final Four with their big 3. And
the big 3. Yeah.
The big 3.
They have one hell of a big 3. I agree with your first breakdown. So we both had Illinois versus Oklahoma State. I agree with your first breakdown. I got Illinois moving on.
Mhm.
Cade Cunningham, unfortunately, just did enough, but can't get enough done out of his side pieces to get past Illinois. So I got Illinois moving forward. And then the bottom bracket, I got the Syracuse Orange versus Houston. Will they pull up another upset? No, this is where their road ends. I got Houston, number 2 seed, beating Syracuse to fill in that last spot in the Elite Eight.
Mm.
And then with this matchup, Illinois, Houston, great matchup again. I have Houston going on. I got Houston representing the Midwest as a 2 seed. So Houston beating Illinois in a great game as well. I think this will be a little bit more of a low scoring game, but I think Houston edges them out. I got Houston, number 2 seed versus number 2 seed Ohio State.
Wow.
In that side of the Final Four bracket. We're down to 4 teams now, Peter.
Jeez. Houston, we don't have
4.
problems according to Ryan.
No. Only in basketball and football, in NBA and in NFL, but not in college basketball, not this year. But yes, so we got 4 teams left. Peter, again, outline your 4 teams and your matchups.
My 4 teams, I've got Kansas versus Texas, and I've got Baylor versus Illinois. So I got number 3 versus number 3 and number 1 versus number 1. So interesting.
Okay.
You,
so
Ryan?
some chalk on one and then some mayhem on the other. I like it.
Yeah.
For me, again, to review, I got number 1 Gonzaga versus number 6 BYU. And then number 2 Ohio State versus number 2 Houston. Peter, you go first with your first matchup. Who you got?
Okay. All right. For my first matchup, man, it's going to be a good one. We've got scores for you on this Final Four matchup and championship.
Yes,
so
sir.
Kansas versus Texas. I've got Kansas. 76-73. I'm telling you. I'm giving you the information. I've been to the future and I've come back. I'm telling you right now.
You got people running to the sports book as we speak.
Yes. So I'd say this is what I'm going to say. Texas is going to get off to a really, really good start. But like I said earlier, Kansas is a second half team. They will make adjustments and they will be steady and they will make a comeback and they will close it out. And Texas is going to miss a 3 late and it's just going to be,
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Wow. Kansas, huh?
Kansas going to the championship. And my other matchup, do you want me? I'll go over my other matchup.
Yeah.
Baylor versus Illinois. I've got Illinois, 78-72. I think they got great talents each side, but I think Illinois takes it with their strong inside play with Baby Shaq, as I mentioned, Coffee Coburn, and Baylor just can't make enough threes as they usually do. So that's what I think is going to happen. 78-72. So it's
it takes
Kansas versus Illinois.
That's a good game. That's a really good game.
Yeah. If we get it, that's going to be great.
If we get it, that's a good game. That's what I don't have, though. I don't have that matchup. But although I have to say that would be a good game, good takes too as well.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, in the first matchup, the WCC matchup of the year, Gonzaga versus BYU, I got similarly to how they last played in that championship game. I got BYU coming out with a firing start, getting their feet a little bit wet, too quick, I should say. And Gonzaga, steady ship, real steady ship, undefeated all year, undefeated up to this point. They know BYU better than BYU knows anyone else. They're going to know what it takes to get it done. They have too many playmakers on that team. Jalen Suggs, who's kind of like a Westbrook 3.0, and he can shoot a lot better than Westbrook. They got a guy named Kispert who's amazing, just all around can shoot. I mean, this is a deep team. This is a deep team, and it's too much for BYU for the 4th time. So again, fourth time is not the charm for BYU. I got Gonzaga beating out BYU. High scoring game as both of these teams can put up points.
Oh yeah.
I got 85, Gonzaga 85 to BYU 78. So it's still like close game, closer than what Gonzaga Bulldog fans and that team are used to this year, but just still not enough. So BYU, unfortunately, that is it. That's the end of the road. Gonzaga in the national championship game.
Oh, baby.
And then in the other side, Ohio State, number 2 out of the South versus number 2 out of the Midwest, Houston. I got Ohio State winning and going on to the national championship game, beating out Houston 70-65. Another close matchup game as well. Great game played, but I think Ohio State just has a little bit more athletes on that team that can make plays, especially in those crunch time situations. Gonzaga versus Ohio State. That's
Wow.
the natty for me.
Oh boy, that's great takes, and that would be an amazing game if we get it.
Mm.
I would be down.
We're down for it all. So this is it. This is the championships are set. Our predictions.
Mhm.
Lastly, what's the pick?
Okay, so on my side, I've got number 3 Kansas versus number 1 Illinois, and I've got the big 3 of Illinois taking it home, 84-77. I think Illinois will just have a steady control throughout the game, like Texas did in my previous matchup. And Kansas will just be steady. They'll make a comeback, and it'll get close late, but then Illinois will just make a play or two that gets them that lead, and then make free throws down the stretch and close it out. And the Fighting Illini will be the winning Illini come this March. Mark it down, take a picture. Ryan, what do you think of that?
Oh man, I love it because I know that it took a lot of thought. Unfortunately, like we've mentioned a lot, we haven't got the chance to watch a lot of college basketball this year. But definitely you backing Illinois like how you have been this whole podcast. Shoot, I want to put money on it right now just from your speech and your speech alone. So great pick. I'm hoping for a great game. If it's the 2 that you predicted, I mean, that's going to be a great game. The 2 that I predicted, I got Gonzaga versus Ohio State. Number 1, Gonzaga. Number 2, Ohio State. And the national champion will be the first undefeated team since that Indiana team so many moons ago, so many years ago, that Indiana team, last team to go completely undefeated in the season. What was it? In like it was in the 70s or something like that. Yeah, it was a long time before we were even a thought of. But I got Gonzaga beating out Ohio State in a very close game. Gonzaga pulls away at the end. Free throws shot late. That's it. Confetti falls. Gonzaga and Mark Few 77 to the Ohio State 69. So 8-point differential there. Amazing game. Amazing tourney. Hopefully everything can go as scheduled. But that's mine. That's mine.
Mark Few finally gets it done in your book, huh?
Finally does.
Wow.
Finally does.
Good takes.
And what a year it's been for Gonzaga too. I mean, if they can really pull this off, and for me, this is just my prediction, but if they can really put this pen to paper and actually do it, that'd be amazing. What a story.
Yeah.
And nothing taking away from them. Yep.
Yeah. And that brings me to, so that was our picks. So you got Gonzaga winning and I've got Illinois winning. Do you normally fill out more than one bracket? Or are you a purist and you just go one and it's on paper too?
Okay. So no. Answer a quick question. No, I don't just fill out one bracket, but I do fill out one bracket, old fashioned way
on paper,
on paper. But I think now with that access of ESPN and all of those different applications where you can literally just, it's a nice little interface too that they provide where you can just pick those teams. You can create all those tons of brackets. I think it's fun to create different brackets as well and see how those brackets fare throughout the course of the tournament. What about you, Peter?
Yeah, I usually one, like this one I did was just like a pure realization. Like this is like, I think what can happen. And then I have a bias bracket where I'll pick LSU if they're in the tournament to go all the way. And that's how it goes. I don't do more than any, if I'm playing a challenge with other people and it's like more than, a few groups, I'll choose the same bracket.
Yeah.
I won't change it.
Okay. Well, let me put you on the spot, and I'll put myself on the spot then now too. The ESPN app, and I'm no way, any shape, form affiliated with ESPN. I was a ex-Disney employee, so maybe there's a correlation there. But I love ESPN's app that they have for the tournament. It's called the Tournament Challenge. Me and Peter, I'm calling you out right now. Those picks you just laid out, you can put that in the app against my picks. There's a scoring system, so every round. First round is 10 points if you get that matchup right. If you get the winner of the next round, it's 20, so on and so forth. So they have a point system. I can put my bracket up head to head against yours, and let's see who wins. We'll have something on the line. We got to have something on the line.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm down for it. Whatever you want to do. I believe in my picks.
You believe in your picks. I can definitely feel that. I believe in my picks. I'm I'm putting the idea out there. Let's do it. I want you to know, or I want you to let me know what's the stake.
What do you think? $100 or
Let's do why not 200?
200?
Let's do 200.
Fine. I'm fine with 200. Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's
So
do 200.
Winner gets 200. I guess
Winner gets
whatever
200.
that score you just said. I didn't know
Yeah.
they did that. That's pretty cool though.
You want to do it, Peter? All in if you are.
I am all in.
Okay. And then yes, we'll see where it goes from there. So, boom, bracket in its entirety. I will not make any modifications when I put in my bracket on the ESPN app when I play Peter. So, winner gets 200 big ones.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'll probably show our brackets here. Just pop them up so that people can see them. Yeah, I'm down for it. I believe in it. I know you believe in it. Why not put something on it? Hell,
It's madness, baby.
Yeah.
And it's our first tournament in 700 days. So
That's true.
we'll take it. We'll take it. I'm hoping everyone enjoyed it. I'm sure that if you're watching this, you have your own bracket that you filled out, and I guarantee you it differs from Peter and myself. So please let us know in the comments anything that you agreed with or some of the picks that you differed with us. But it's going to be a fun couple of weeks, a really fun couple of weeks down in Indy.
Oh yes.
I'm ready. Let's go. Our first four starts tomorrow, so we're ready.
Yeah. Hopefully we get it out, and hopefully y'all can listen to this right before and like change some picks. Maybe like, oh, let me listen to Ryan or let me listen to Peter on this one. We did our research as best we can. We didn't watch too many basketball, but we did our research, so we're confident in our picks.
Believe in it.
If you don't like it, comment below.
Yes, please. We'd love to hear from you. But all of it's done. We went through the whole bracket again. Thank you guys for listening. Me and Peter appreciate your guys' support. Look forward to more music videos, more sporting podcasts in the near future. Peter, I know you always have, great golf content coming around the corner
with the Olympic stuff.
Olympic channel has been amazing.
Mhm.
Everything's been great. So we appreciate everyone's support. Peter, any last words for the guests?
Yeah, just appreciate you watching. We got, like Ryan said, a lot of things coming. Different sports, entertainment, business, like as we said in our little thing and our cover art. So just look forward to it. We're happy to do these things, and we have Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch this on or listen to it on there. So feel free to do it.
All right, you guys, we love you. Thank you for listening. Yep. This has been the Anaks podcast with Peter and myself, and we are out.
Adios.
March Madness, baby.
Yes, sir.
We love you, Christian.